Welcome to Gray Overload. I'm Anthony, and Microsoft has released a new update for Windows 10, May 2021 update. Microsoft has now released their newest Windows 10 update, and this is the May 2021 update, which is going to be their version 21H1. And they come out with two major updates a year. And Microsoft is just, keeps plugging along, and they keep trying to improve Windows 10 overall. Now, this one isn't as feature packed as you would expect. I'm on the insider, so I've been testing things as they come along, and they're keep improving Windows 10. Now, I will get into what I think they should focus on a little bit more here towards the end, but let's get into some of the features that they talked about. They talked about Windows 10 Hello for multi-camera support, and this is if you have multiple monitors, or they can do security related you know checking with the Windows Hello cameras. They also included the Windows Defender application guard and with performance improvements. And hopefully that is improving. I know that sometimes Defender can kind of spin off and kind of have a mind of its own, which is, takes up a lot of CPU power and everything else. And you're just like, why is this just running for no reason? And, when you're trying to game or something else and trying to get the most performance out of your computer, this is annoying. And then they have another thing they said was the Windows Management Instrument, and this is group policy stuff. This is more business oriented overall, for like remote work, and which is I think a great product. And they have to focus on both consumer gaming, enterprise, that whole spectrum of computers. Windows 10 is broad and it's used in a lot of different areas. Now, if you're willing to, go ahead and grab this update. So far, I haven't had any issues, and I haven't heard of anybody having any major issues going through this update. However, everyone I know that or that has talked to me about updating was on the latest version of 20H2 update, and they didn't have to jump multiple, versions. I don't know how Microsoft is dealing with that. I know Microsoft is, they said in their blog post, they are rolling this out, and hopefully that this one goes pretty smoothly. They're able to roll it out and keep everyone on an up-to-date, phase of Windows 10. Hopefully one thing that I want to see Microsoft continue to do is these smaller updates, but really start telling me about the reliability improvements that you guys are doing, and making sure the OS and the kernel and everything else is rock solid. As my company laptop that I do, or even my rendering machine here, I want to make sure that when I update, it's going to be good to go and everything else. Now, I also try to update right away, even on my rendering machine and my main desktop, because if somebody comes to me with a problem, I need to kind of address it, and then hopefully I can help them out. But Microsoft, for me here, the last couple versions of the OS, I think have been getting kind of heavy. Let's start going back to the original version of Windows 10. Let's, make this a trim OS. Let's make it so, it's reliable. Let, the speed options, not to make the OS faster, but, when you're gaming or everything else, you want to get every ounce of that performance out of that computer, right? You don't want it running a whole bunch of other stuff out there. And hopefully what Microsoft can do here going forward with Windows 10 is make this a more reliable OS and everything else. It seems like that they've been trying to work on that, but they get distracted with like Windows 10X and all this other stuff. Instead, incorporate some of the Windows 10X stuff inside Windows 10. Make that a thinner, more reliable OS. Use less power. That's one thing about it, right? When you trim down that OS, when you make it more reliable, it's gonna be a much more lower powered item, because you're not running CPU all the time, or anything else. Now, I would like to see them start to improve some other features of this, and I've put those features inside of the Windows feedback. And if you guys are having bugs, file that with Microsoft in their feedback hub. Microsoft needs to become aware of this, and time will tell to see if, as these updates, this Windows team continues to improve this to make a better OS, right? They call this, fast and focused, right, for this release. Well, how is that, Microsoft? Like, are you making sure that you will be having the best benefit here going forward for your stuff and for your users, right? I know I work on computers. Some have hard drives for my customers. As much as I'd like them with SSDs, I just don't have the money or in a position to upgrade that, right? And those machines are painful. I have updated one recently with a hard drive, and it was painstakingly horrible to do. It took me forever to get that thing updated. Um, Luckily, I was able to do some other stuff at the same time, because if it was just a solid time sitting there waiting at the screen, you're looking, come on, let's get there. It was not going to go too well. I would have been there for, I think it was 2 hours or something to get this updated for a cumulative update. Come on, Microsoft. Um, I know that you have limitations here with some hardware, but if anything else like interrupts while you're updating in the OS, I mean, you're stuck, right? Especially if you're on some of these older quad cores that I've done. I've even worked on dual cores, and that was really painful with Microsoft. So hopefully they can kind of trim this down, because I think they have a real opportunity to get the OS down. I've been messing with Linux a lot more here, Microsoft. I will say there's a lot of benefits in some of these Linux flavors that I've been trying out, that they are very snappy on some of these older systems, where you have the same opportunity to do that, right? You're an OS. You basically could do the exact same thing. Make it snappy, make it reliable and quick on that low end hardware, which I'm fine with, right? Not everybody can buy a high end PC, Microsoft, so you got to be focused to that. But this update here, it's one of their big updates, right? Two big updates a year. However, not much was really in it, and it seems more of a trying to keep incrementally improving Windows 10, which I think is a good thing. And this is Microsoft is where you should have had your features to be enabled, so people don't have features showing up within cumulative updates. So these are your feature releases, right? Twice a year you have your feature releases. This is where you update it. People then can go through and like I can show them to turn it off or what it is, rather than it showing up randomly and then people are searching, why the heck did this show up. I did not go through and download anything. I just did an update. My computer restarted. What's going on? Is there a virus? Right? That's the whole thing you send off, Microsoft, when you update something out of one of these major um, twice a year updates. So just take that into consideration, Microsoft, when you're thinking about it. Right? Your users are your focus, not just what you can cram into an OS. And you have to deal with enterprise. You have to deal with consumers and a whole spectrum of tech enthusiasts, everyone else. So there's different levels of what people know about the OS, what it can do, and your goal is to make this more reliable, quicker, thinner, and just be able to, like, if I want to go game, I want to have the best performance possible, right? If I want to go do rendering, I want to have the best performance possible. I don't want something else going through. And hopefully Microsoft is going to start taking that more to heart here and moving forward with it. But if you have any questions about this update, 21H1 here, this May 2021 update, definitely go through and leave it in the comments below. If I don't get back to it, hopefully somebody else will. But I try to read every comment that is posted on the videos currently. So I do appreciate you guys helping out this channel and helping it grow. Here I just got solar installed in my house, so I will have a video on that. And hopefully here I'll get a little bit more time to start testing. I know that cooler, the Ice Giant cooler, I have some stuff I want to still do with it. And get that done. So there's stuff that I have lined up, hopefully, that I can get to here fairly soon. And by the way, I have a friend that's starting to build a computer, and he's going to have me build it. So that should be on the channel as well. Should have some unboxings with that as well. Thank you, Tom, for dropping off those parts and letting me build it for you. And it's an exciting time, right? We have competition on the hardware side. Hopefully more coming soon. Hey, we might even have some hardware in stock sooner or later, and that would be a huge benefit here. I also put in my final payment for the Eve Spectrum monitor, so I'm excited to get that 4K monitor, as well as then I guess I'll have another 4K monitor for my work setup, and then I'll have this nice 144 hertz 4K gaming monitor for my desktop as well. So let me know if you have any questions with that coming up as well. I'll look at those, and if you have questions, I'll put those in like reviews and unboxings that I do as well. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for taking the time to help support Gravelord and helping this channel grow. I really appreciate it. You guys are great. And until next time, God bless, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.